Can a $4,000 professional camera beat out the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra camera? Now, the professional camera that I'm referring to is the Sony A7RV. I've been using this camera for a couple of months now, and I gotta say, I love this camera so much. You guys love the quality of the videos, and this is taking it a step further. It can shoot 8K video, it's a 61 megapixels, and if you know anything about Sony camera, the R stands for resolution, and this is just the absolute photographer's dream. Now, the lens that I have installed is the Sigma 24-70 2.8, the only zoom lens that I have, and this is just the A7S3. This is the camera that you guys used to see on my videos, but the quality looks pretty much similar, even though the R series has a higher resolution. Now, with the S23 Ultra being out for 3 months, I'm actually having a blast with this phone. Stay tuned for the review. But the camera specs, we have a main wide camera, an ultra wide, a telephoto lens, and of course you have that space zoom. And really, I just took a trip down to New York City. You know, New York City is beautiful with its skyscrapers, the people, the environment, the graffiti art. New York City is the best city when it comes down to photography, and that's where I'm going to be taking these two cameras to go. Now, also, this is going to be a blind test. The goal of this is to not give you the idea that this is shot on this camera, that camera. I want you to decide which picture looks the best. So in this case, two pictures on screen. We have the one on the left and one on the right. One of them are either taken on the Galaxy S23 Ultra or the A7R V, and you guys got to comment which one do you like the most. So without further ado, let the games begin. Now, it is time to reveal the sides. On the left was shot on the A7R V, and on the right was shot on the S23 Ultra. Can you be able to tell the difference between the two cameras? Let me know down in the comments down below. Before I end out the blind test, I want to test out the video recording capabilities using the onboard microphones. Shout out to Mark Robier, by the way.
Tombé sur Marc Robier.
Last one.
I would say both cameras handle it well, but just the fact of the S23 Ultra, you could zoom in all the way up to 100 times zoom, makes it extremely convenient without able to switching out the lens. Let me remind you, the file sizes for each photo is going to range about 40 megabytes to about 60 megabytes. So make sure you have the capacity space when you're shooting 200 megapixel or even 61 megapixel on a mirrorless camera. Be sure to follow my Instagram for more photo comparisons between the Ultra versus the A7RV. That is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra versus the Sony A7RV. Both cameras are absolutely fantastic, and really I'm mostly surprised on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Gotta stop saying the full name. This is just such a long name. Because we came a long way with mobile photography. I mean, think of the days of the flip phones or the first iPhone, that is, and comparing it to now, you get in DSLR-like quality photos. And especially if you add those photos to Lightroom and you add your presets to it, it's gonna look like it's shot on a mirrorless camera easily. Yeah, and like I said in the beginning, I had the most fun with the Galaxy just because of the S Pen, dropping them into Lightroom. The space zoom was an absolute godsend. When I was at that Mark Rebier, not concert, but we outside, he had a little event, I could be able to easily zoom up to 100 time video and get close and personal to Mark Rebier, well, video wise. I saw people with the iPhone, people couldn't zoom that far because Apple doesn't have of significant amount of zoom. Now the mirrorless camera, the A7R5, I only had a 70mm lens, but if I had a 600mm lens, I could get the same, if not a way higher zoom level than the Samsung Galaxy S20. I said the whole name again. I'll get more zoom than the Ultra, but the only caveat to that is those lenses are huge. They're like the lenses are like this wide. It's this long. That's what she said. Compared to that, to this, easily fit in your pocket, this is a no-brainer. Now, I love my camera. This is something that it's a great investment. It's $4,000, but it's worth every penny. I'm not going to go out and sell my camera and just replace the Galaxy S23 Ultra. I'm not doing that because you can easily tell the difference between a camera versus a phone. MKBHD Marquez Brownlee made a fantastic video talking about mobile photography on the process of taking a photo. When you press that shutter button, the shutter button, it takes 1,001 photos and it compresses it. It has noise reduction. It has does a little HDR. It does a lot in the background with a smartphone. You gotta watch Marquez's video. If you're not really into photography like that, or, well, first of all, why are you even watching this video? But if you don't really care on how the picture was taken, you just care on how good it looks. But I say that to say, a camera is different compared to a phone. The way how both produce pictures, the way how they both take pictures is totally different. Which one I'm going with? Honestly, this one is tough. This one was tough. This one is tough. First and foremost, when you're taking 200 megapixel photos, you can't zoom in 100 times. You can only zoom in 6 times. And there's no 200 megapixel mode for the video. So, yeah, so it is a little limiting in that department, but nonetheless to say, the pictures are absolutely jaw-dropping. You know, and it's one of those things where it depends. If I'm walking around New York City, I'm not trying to walk around with a camera, because in New York City, you gotta walk a lot. It's a lot of walking, and carrying a heavy camera, especially with a long lens, you're gonna feel a little fatigued. Now, yes, I had a neck strap. That's no problem, but now you're feeling that fatigue on your neck. If I'm doing a professional photo shoot or a video shoot or some client work, I'm taking the camera every single time. You get more flexibility with a camera. You can connect an XLR cable. You have dual memory card slots. Nowadays on modern smartphones, you can't even have SD card slots, except for the Sony phones. I know about the Sony phones. I'm going to be doing a review on the S23 Ultra, so if you guys want to see that one, or matter of fact, I should do a day in the life. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys want to see a day in the life, or you want to see a 3 months later review of the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra? Let me know in the comments, and I think I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to just be rambling. I made a comparison between the A7RV versus the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Before you guys even ask, I already done it already. You just check out my Instagram. I made a reel on it, and while you're at it, make sure you follow me on Instagram. And also, follow me on Twitter and on TikTok. Same thing, Simplypops. Until next time, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. And one more